Tagine Sicarita Benedictus. Hello everyone and welcome. Tonight's reading, we are focusing around the energy of Mercury retrograde, which can cause communication to run amok. And we are focusing on first quarter moon energy, which allows us to manifest and we create more. This is a week of creation leading up to the full moon. Or in other words, for you to get what you want. And we're looking it into prosperity because we are getting ready to move into the first harvest season of Mabon. But 3 different messages. We'll pop out these 3 messages and get to it. Okay, for communication issues. Oh, Samhain death. So, for some of us, something could be ending here. But a lot of you, and this may make sense for some of you, but it's like the ending's a new beginning. Or something is going to begin around Samhain season. And for those of you who don't know, that's Halloween. Basically, another way of saying Halloween. But I'm getting something bitter here because there are turnips. I see turnips, which back before pumpkins were a thing over here, back in Europe, they would actually carve turnips instead of pumpkins because they lasted longer, and that's what they had. Pumpkins weren't readily available then. Some of you may be communicating with the dead or remembering a past loved one. Spirits, ancestors are very definitely. Someone's trying to get a communication here from a spirit this week. Or since Mercury's retrograde, it's going to be a hard time getting heard because she's behind all those pumpkins. Like, someone is being overprotective here. And there's going to be a hard problem being heard. But let's clarify a little on that. Because when Mercury is retrograde, and it will be retrograde until September 15th. But when it's retrograde, old things resurface. Sometimes even if they're not necessarily for the best. Old things resurface. Communication gets messed with. Whether that be communication over the phone, messages, speaking. I'm an old school girl. I kind of like to talk and not to communicate on the phone. But the King of Wands reverse. Somebody here acts a bit rash or jumps the gun when making a big plan. But I feel like there's a guardian because you see the cat behind him here. Instead of popping reverse is why I'm saying this one's rash. But the cat there reminds me of a guardian. I have a cat that's that color. That's one of my guardians, which is why it reminds me of that. But I feel like someone's watching or helping here. Some may be writing something down. And it's definitely ancestors helping some of you because I was drawn to the feather there on the side, and feathers are related to our ancestors. And then we got the Queen of Swords, and then there's someone who is not afraid to cut things off that do not serve them. Is not afraid to speak their mind. This person's not afraid to speak their mind. They're not afraid to be ice cold when needed. The Queen of Swords energy, and that could be male or female because, energies are gender neutral. But the Queen of Swords energy is a very good place to be because she uses her discernment, which is, that ability, that inner Jiminy Cricket voice telling you, what's good for you and what's not. The people that's good for you and that's not. The situations that's good for you and that's not. Or even the books that's good for you and that's not. The makeup, I could keep going here. And someone learned this lesson, because in the past, because this is the younger Queen of Swords, because that's the same woman, but the Queen of Swords there is aged. In the past, someone was all up in their head. Someone here couldn't see the truth for the lies. It's like they were given so much information. It's like information overload, you know, that they couldn't think straight. And they thought that it was hopeless. But it's not here, because this is a very balanced, like I said, this was past, and this is very balanced person now, but it's slow coming. Oh, yes, hallelujah. Is it slowly coming with the Chariot in reverse? And again, this person doesn't even look like they know where they're going here. This karma, love it when the karma wheel goes tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. Because it's always turning, it's always changing. Like one of my series, what's it called? The White Queen and the White Princess and all the Spanish princess. The Wheel of Fortune, it rises and it falls. You know, no one can stop it. Ancestors can help point you in the right direction, though. It's kind of, think of it as like spirit guardians, spirit animal types, or angels, if you believe in it that way, however you get spiritual. But then the Death card popped up again, and did we not just have the Death card here? And it's interesting because this Death card, I always get cutting something off because he's cutting that cord with the knife there. The fog is definitely clearing. And I feel like there was a choice here, because if you look, those two doors are identical, but one of them is slightly open and bright light is flowing out. I feel like someone's wool was drawn over their eyes here, either whether it be about a person or situation. How maybe some kind of a spirit, because, you know, some of them can be tricky. I don't recommend dealing with spirits unless you're well versed in some communication magic or whatnot. But I feel like the wool was drawn over someone's eyes here about a person, place, situation. And now it's being seen. Now the right cord is being cut. And now the right guardian's being had. It's like someone's safety here was something else in the past, and now it's something new. And all of this is coming out. But with Mercury retrograde moving in, I feel like it's slowing it down a bit, because it's kind of like, well, Mercury retrograde, because that means Mercury is sort of going backwards. So all the good stuff that Mercury does for us can flip-flop and do the opposite, or the good things that it does for us, it can expand upon it. You know, it depends on where you're at in your spiritual life. And a few other things on your path. Is it raining? It is raining. Intriguing. And I just buried my witch's tonic or fire cider. I'll make a short for you guys tomorrow. You'll see that side note. And it's getting nice and jam-packed down in my pumpkin patch in my garden. But this is communication coming in. And it is slowed down, because it's like someone's scared of safety. There's, well, fear. You know, fear of the unknown. If you don't know how someone's going to respond, or you don't know how a situation's going to turn out, fear of the unknown can drive more fear. It can drive us to slow us down, because the shark down there is reminding there's danger. You know, he's all going happy and ho. This is just a reminder to keep using that discernment. Open up the communication, but while Mercury's retrograde until the 15th, make sure you're double checking everything twice, like Santa Claus, all right? Okay, let's move on to the first quarter moon position. Now, the first quarter moon is one of the strongest nights, and it starts tomorrow night, is the first quarter moon. It may peak in the morning. I haven't checked yet, because I do certain things at peak times, but from the new moon, or I'm sorry, The new moon is the beginning, you know, that's the leading up to it. But the first quarter moon is when it gets bright in the sky. It's personally when I rope in that moon energy. But the whole week leading up to the full moon, until the minute that full moon peaks, the minute after it starts waning and going out. Correct, right. Well, I know I'm right. But it is the best week for manifesting. It's the best for getting what you want, as some as you may say, for increasing power on anything. You know, it's very, very, the most powerful week of the whole monthly moon cycle. I got ahead of myself. They flip it over. The moon excites me so. But Pentacle Respect, this one popped out. I got to start videotaping my pre-shuffles, because this one kept popping out. And I definitely know how it resonates with me personally, because I do all these readings the same as I do for you guys. I have you follow me along with my journey through the moon cycles, through the wheel of the year, and through the planetary aspects, and the moon and stars, and occasionally the sun. But the Pentacle Respect. Someone is getting their manifest on this week, whether that be my witchly people or my magical creatures that are doing some kind of workings or whatnot, or whether that just be someone who has got that drive and that passion to get what they want done, to get what they want achieved. This is a complete balance of nature. This is a complete balance of all the elements: earth, air, fire, water, and then spirit in the center here. Some of you may want to look into doing candle magic this week. It'd be the perfect time if you need that little boost because you're new at this or whatever. But let's get more on that. Love it when the Pentacle shows up in that position. And again, I'm getting with the help because we see hands back there. Someone's lighting little candles. If you're in a coven, I'm not, but if you're in a coven or you... Did you... I sure hope my son's still awake and that was him. But, side note, yeah, my dog's growling. Cognac. Are you snoring? She's snoring. Oops. Okay. Anyways, it looks like they're helping him back there. When you work together, like say, like I did this few witches a while back. We buried protection bottles. It was around the time that, right after the time that Georgia Guidestone was blown up over here in the States, but we all did the same thing. We weren't in the same places, but we did the same thing. What I'm saying is you can do the same thing with candles. Fire is very, very powerful. The Star, and respect the... Loving it. I feel like McDonald's every time I say that. But anyways, the Star card popped out with the Pentacle. This is the Rainbow Road, the horse of a different color, like in Wizard of Oz. Someone may be getting new respect here, and I feel like it's been hard work. But it's coming back around. I'm getting with the circle, the protection circle here. And with the Star card, it's not like wishing on a star. It's kind of like getting what you want, which will go right along with manifesting what you're wanting here. And some of you may be working on prosperity, because I'm drawn to all this, the green in those colors first off. But remember to have balance. Because to get that prosperity, you have to be in a balanced place. Prosperity is just there if you're in a balanced place. You don't have to strive for it so hard. Side note. But let's get more on that. Well, that one's just flipped over here. The Nine of Pentacles and the Five of Cups reversed. Oh no, that's not the 5. Oh, it is. Someone. I'm going to have to get that one water reading out to figure out what all that banging is going on there, but I'm a witch, so it's not unlike me to not have a spirit about it, but I'm pretty sure it's my son, guys. Side note, off track, Mercury retrograde, see, communication. Someone here is being reminded or being told to relax this week, because whether you're doing spell work or whether you're just trying to get your life on track and get, you know, your life rolling out in a more positive locomotion, you have to be relaxed. You have to be in the right mindset to manifest. If you always think negative, or this always happens to me, or I'll never get this, you know, it is true that you can attract that. Perfect example, I'll use one where I had to learn how to walk again. In 1996, I was 17 and hit by a truck, and I just learned, you know, how you get older. I'm turning 45 this month, but you know, I was thinking back of the time when that happened, and I was walking, and I was hit by a truck, and the doctors didn't think I'd walk again. However, I did in 4 months. I was walking with a cane, and what I realized in my, you know, older years, actually this past year, is that I remembered that I never once believed that I wouldn't walk again. And back then I thought, you know, it's because, you know, my 17-year-old selfish self just was too vain to think it. But in all honesty, I think it went along with what I did. Because when I did physical therapy every day, I would think and imagine myself walking again to get through the pain. The brain is the most powerful tool, and it is also the only organ in the body that science cannot fully explain, and they don't know everything about. That's most intriguing. But relax, be in that right mindset. I think I just heard a bunch of bats. This night is crazy, and I don't get bats. Anywho, bats reminds me of the hangman. Someone may be on the verge of either a spiritual breakthrough of some kind of or spiritual enlightenment. And the hangman can also mean stuck in limbo. So this is telling you to relax, and some of you, and not be stuck in limbo this week to get what you want. The Five of Cups reverse is reminding you, again, to not be in the mindset, because it was reversed, not to be in the mindset of the Five of Cups reverse. And a lot of people do this when it's hard to train our minds not to, you know, to be humble and not think this way. But there's always a silver lining. You can always change your perspective and change your emotions and how you feel about it. And that is how you master emotions to control your life. And on that note, I need a drink of my tea, but to be realized, to not cry over spilled milk, because there's something here that somebody has. Prosperity. There's a big old party behind her, and she's looking at those sad little sandy cups. But to not be in that mindset. Let's get a few more. Yes, not be indecision. This is in reverse. If we are in that mindset, then our opportunities, because usually in the upright, sometimes the Seven of Cups is about opportunities, about vast potential and opportunities, if it's not about a decision, okay? But this is in the reverse. If we are in the right mindset, we may make the wrong decision, like that rash King of Wands reversed here. Temptation, be leery of temptation here, because I'm getting with that smoke again in the background of someone who acted like they had a big heart in the past, but their heart's really little. Look at that one she's grabbing that's messed up. That is probably only for one or a few of you. But before we break out oracles again, let's move on to the prosperity. This is a big one to be working on this time of year, because I started working on mine with Letha. And I'll be finishing doing some more this Maybon with the harvest coming to prepare for the winter. But side note, the scrying mirror, and I'll be damned if this one didn't pop out too in the pre-shuffle and a lot lately, and sometimes I don't get the best vibe off of this one, but tonight I'm getting, it goes along with the mindset. It's a lot about the mind tonight. Oh. Seeking out help from somebody in a spiritual way that might be beneficial to some of you who works with shadows. But the scrying mirror is about things we don't, or things that we see in the peripheral vision when a witch is scrying. You know, it's how we, well, it's a way of divination, kind of, and you can do many other things. But I'm getting divination with this. Some of you want to be careful with mirror magic too. If your mirrors aren't contained or locked, you know, that's a porthole. FYI. If you don't have your protections in place, it can be. I don't want to scare anybody, but that's just for the spiritual people, you know, who are into that thing. But the shadow here and the prosperity, this is telling somebody, when we're doing shadow work, we deal with, you know, childhood traumas. Or we deal with past life things that have happened, or things that have happened in our past, or, you know, that we witnessed is someone we know, or love's past. And a lot of times it's about learning lessons, and we have to be able to do that to bring prosperity. Because the eye is in the beholder. The way to be happy a lot of times is to be thankful for what you do have, and not want for what you do not have. And that if you get yourself in that kind of humble way of thinking, then like I said, life comes at you easier, okay? It tends to flow better and things fall into place. Like, I love how it happens. It's beautiful. And I'm still thankful for the shakeups, but the way my life flows now, smoothly and more peaceful, is nothing I would give back in the world. So... but let's clarify more on that. And I did do a lot of shadow work. And I'm not done because, you know, shadow work, well, it's impossible to learn everything. Trust me, my tropical Virgo placement taught me that. You just can't learn everything. Because it kind of drove me, you know, a body that I couldn't there when I was younger. But it's intriguing to try to learn as much as you can as you age. Temperance and the Ten of Pentacles. Even the cat's happy with the knocked over ice cupcake. He knocked over the cupcake while she's just doing her yoga doodles there. Temperance card is about discernment again. Heavy Sagittarius discernment, which will go along with the fire. Beginning Sagittariuses have impeccable discernment. So check your Sagittarius placements. Remember, there's 3 charts: tropical, Vedic, and draconic. And side note, I've learned that I've resonated with my tropical chart when I was in my 20s. Resonated more with my Vedic placements in my 30s. And now in my 40s, I resonate with my draconic placements. I learned that this week. If you guys don't follow Ivy the Occultist, I highly recommend her channel. But side note, we have Temperance paired with the Ten of Pentacles, which is a very, very, very good combo. And since we have a lot of cups here, I'm not getting it's just about greed and money, because cups combined with the pentacles comes from a balanced place where there, you know, when there's too much love and money, that's not balanced, and invites all kinds of havoc inside to our family loopholes. And I'm also getting balance from this, because balancing family life and balancing spiritual life can sometimes be difficult. I mean, it's always good to have people that believe the same thing we do, but it's also good to remember and respect everybody's beliefs, you know, as long as it's not hurting you or anything, it's just fine, you know. God isn't really a person, it's a feeling, and how everybody gets to that feeling, or is their life path, you know. Anyways, I keep putting those in the wrong place here, didn't I? We'll get a few more tarot on that, and then I think I will close out with the Goddess Oracle. We might hit up the Isis Oracle. The Two of Wands. See, someone's over planning or maybe thinking too much about money here. And the spirituality is hidden because it's popped out in reverse. And the little lizard, which lizards represent spirituality, wisdom, fire, again, with the fire energy and fire signs. But it's hidden there. It's like you don't have to plan your prosperity out. You live your life to where you attract the prosperity. I mean, you can plan the prosperity. You know, that it's, I don't like to tell people exactly what to do. I'm just saying, for me, and a lot of other people I've seen, if you don't plan for it, and I'm not saying not saving money, that's not what I mean there. It means if you worry less about it, is what I'm trying to say. And, you know, just try to live your life in a more balanced way, and where you don't go around causing that wheel of fortune to be off balance, you know, lie, cheating, stealing, and all those off-kilter things that we don't do depending on the situation, but that's a whole other video. The Three of Pentacles. Some of you may, again, be working with the ancestors or just be told to work with someone here. Because the Three of Pentacles is about working together. And these people aren't from the same tracks because we have Three Pentacles, so there's a basis of belief here that's similar. But they're a little different with the different colors. These people are even a little different and dressed for different times. Goodness. The Eight of Cups and the Four of Cups. More cups. And the Lovers. Definitely some top-notch spirituality going on with the Lovers card showing up there like that. The Eight of Cups. Again, using that discernment, walking away from something that wasn't what you thought it was here with the Eight of Cups. Again, with the smoke clearing, that one cup of smoking. So there was definitely falseness and lies in the mix here with this. And then the Four of Cups. Someone didn't see something. Sorry, guys. Someone didn't see something that was there all along. But there's also somebody here who is way up in their head. And the key to that is going to be communication, I'm feeling. Because the communication here might be linked with the prosperity. Because communication is the key. And I'm getting that with the key. Well, communication is the key. I was taught that in every psychology class in college. But the keys, I was getting that because I saw the keys there hanging in the background. It's like someone has their escape, but they're not seeing it clearly. Which would cause, the Mercury retrograde would cause. Okay, let's pull out the Dark Goddess Oracle. No, they're mixed up here. Some closing advice here from the Dark Goddess Oracle about moving forward with these situations while the energy is right and tight for it. Mercury retrograde, the Morrigan, sovereignty. Celtic folklore, Irish folklore, the Morrigan was, I'd say, the equivalent of a lot of cultures to like of a Hecate, or it's Mama Bridget, I think, in the hoodoo. Death energy. Death energy. She embodies death energy. And she's also another one of the dark goddesses that is worshipped and stuff, or, you know, recognized during the fall season especially. But she is a warrior, okay? Ravens. So again, it's a communication. I feel like someone's getting communication that a war is over here. But they're still on the defense. They still don't feel like they're protected with my Hecate in reverse. Determination. Fear. Do not let fear cloud your judgment and cloud for what you know is right. For what you know is the best for you and the ones in your circle. You know, the ones in your family. I'm getting with the Celtic Tree of Life in the background on that ruin. But again, the warrior. Someone here is a warrior or had a warrior past life. Now, if that resonates with some of you, check out, I do have a Viking past life video that I did here probably a couple months ago. But any kind of, you know, past life, or just start researching the stuff, and your intuition may tell you that stuff if you're good at your intuition, which I feel like most of you are with all the discernment cards that are popping up. But let's get a few on the manifestation with the moon this week. Inyana Health, another one that popped up. Inyana Health, she was part goddess, part snake. For those of you who may have a few health problems or something, this is reminding you that this week is very powerful in healing. Whether that mean research on something, or new medicine, or just relaxing and learn to take stress out, because stress wreaks havoc in our bodies in lots and lots of ways. It's one of the #1 causes of heart attacks and strokes. I worked in the CCU for years, and I can tell you this for sure. Because the patients, we kept getting more and more, and they kept getting younger and younger. It used to be, when I first started nursing, you know, people in their 60s would have strokes and stuff, and they just kept getting younger, and I was 40s and 30s. It's lifestyle, I'm telling you. Okay, endurance. More death energy as well. Endurance, the endurance card. This is about someone who has the Phoenix rising here. They may even be getting better, pulling out of some bad health that I hope no one else caused. You know, sometimes there's a thing called an evil eye. I noticed on my bracelet. I mean, energy is a thing. Look at it that way. I won't explain it as evil eye because people won't really see it as that. But when someone has ill intentions on you, or they obsess over you and think about you, or think harm on you, sometimes that energy can cause some things to go off balance. That's why they have the evil eye protection things. But someone has endured that here and is kind of on top. And this week is going to be the start of something more prosperous for them. Creating their own new world. What am I thinking? That one Disney song. Whole New World. What is that song called? Aladdin. Okay. Let's get some more on the prosperity. I feel like these are all linked and that flew where? Oh, hell. Stay away from the drama creatures. The ones that lure you in with their sweet, sweet tone, but they really just that crazy mean old mermaid there. Drama is another thing that will cause our life to be off balance, and we won't be able to manifest our prosperity. We won't be able to manifest better communication, and we definitely won't be able to manifest our money, our happiness. There's a Goldie. Here's my cat. You always got to make a debut in my videos, don't you, baby? Don't you, baby? Okay, guys, I think I will leave it at that because it is late and I need to get to sleep because I have stuff to do tomorrow. But I believe I will see you guys definitely in shorts tomorrow. A witchy one for my witch's tonic for the fall coming up to help protect against the flu. And we'll have another Phoenix Revelation short. But until then, stay blessed, stay humble, and as the universe so the soul. Bye.